Over the last several months there's been lots of changes to Feral Druids, and I feel like Blizzard have finally got it around about where it should be, but clearly not everybody agrees, including Blizzard. As of the time of recording, if you take your Druid onto the Wrath of the Lich King PTR, you'll notice when you look at your Omen of Clarity glyph, which ordinarily just gives you a 100% chance to proc Omen of Clarity when you use Feral Fairy Fire, when you highlight over the glyph now, you'll notice it does exactly the same thing, but it's now also reducing all of our physical damage by 5%. Now, for those of you that don't know, I've played a Druid for the best part of 20 years. My first character in vanilla, besides a small stint on a Warlock, which didn't even make it past level 30, has always been a Druid. Through TBC, through Wrath, all the way until even recently where I hopped on Dragonflight, literally a couple of days ago just to have a look. I was even trying to Druid out then. Now, I've been playing a Paladin for most of Wrath of the Lich King, but still have a level 80 Druid on EU and an 80 Druid on NA, and my NA Druid is the one that I've been putting a lot of focus on over the last few weeks. I should have known that everything was going too well, because yes, from nowhere, it looks like we've been stealth nerfed by 5%. I've not seen any patch notes yet, and they could even come out at the time of recording this video, which if they do, we're going to go off on a little tangent. I'm sure there's going to be many other things before any patch notes go out that are going to be found by other classes. If you've noticed anything, obviously let me know in the comments, but ultimately Feral is going to be nerfed by 5%, and there's no way around using this glyph because it is too strong. I mean, Feral, even when you look at Trial of the Crusader, they're up there in the top sort of 4, well, they're sat in 4th place at the last one that I saw Wowhead actually post, but it's not like they're stomping all over the meters in 1st place on every boss, yet they seem to be the one that are being targeted, which is a bit confusing. Don't get me wrong, good Feral Druids are absolutely pumping, but obviously good Unholy DKs are pumping harder, Fire Mages and Warlocks as well, and ultimately Feral Druid is not going to be something that you ever stack. Warlocks, on the other hand, obviously, we know for many reasons during ICC we're going to see lots of Warlocks in groups. But I see no harm in having your 1, even 2 Feral Druids in a raid that are actually doing competitive damage. It feels to me like this is just not needed to be done at all. I have always said, though, to be fair, that I've not been a fan of this Omen of Clarity glyph literally since the start, and it should never have been 100%. In fact, I would rather it was nerfed to the point where it does a 50% chance to proc Omen of Clarity, but that 5% damage reduction is removed completely. This would at least make the glyph a little bit more optional. If you don't want the RNG element, then you'd go back to using Glyph of Rip. If you do like the RNG element and you know sometimes the stars are going to align and you're going to do really, really big damage, then you use this. But just flat out nerfing the damage by 5% for using this glyph sort of makes it pointless it being added in the first place. Obviously, I fully understand that the DPS you're going to gain from it is going to be more than 5%, but you get what I mean. It seems weird adding something that's going to give you damage, but then on exactly the same glyph reducing your damage. I don't get it. This is just a short update because some of us that main multiple characters on multiple regions, seeing Feral Druid get nerfed again or changed or fiddled with again, might sway your decision on what you're actually going to main when you go into ICC, so it's important to obviously understand everything that's going on with your class. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.